We live? Well, we're not live, we're recording. Hi, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Andrew, and you've found yourself at the Morning Hash, show that I'm putting together just to kind of give you the news of the day. Um, I just wanted to, I don't know, I just wanted to share the news of the day with people, and kind of like a traditional late night news show where we talk about some of the main topics of the day, the headlines of the day, and then we go. And I got my handy dandy notebook right here to keep me on track because I've been hitting the head a lot. I have. So we talk about, the news, sports. What else do we talk about? Entertainment, politics, health, the weather, and I'm always going to finish these videos with a bit of fun, some good news, because most of the news is just so negative that I want to end on a high note. So that you don't, go screaming and running away from this and never come back. You may do that anyway, which I mean I understand because it's me, but whatever. I'm going to stop trying to be funny because I'm not. Um, I wanted to start off. I wasn't going to start with this originally. I wasn't going to start off with this originally, but I woke up this morning to this video of the incoming Prime Minister of New Zealand. And I want you to listen to what he has to say. Let's go back to the beginning. It's a short clip, but just listen to what he has to say.
I think early next year we'll be in the phase of chasing up people who haven't come forward to get their vaccination or have missed their bookings and so on. So everyone
Chasing out people. They're going to chase people. It goes on.
will be able to get a vaccine between now and the end of the year. But of course, and I want every New Zealander to come forward, but human behaviour suggests that there will be some people that we have to actually really go out and look for.
Human behavior suggests there are some people we will actually have to go out and look for. You mean human behavior like your desire for freedom? This prime minister just said that they're going to come hunt you down and inject you with an experimental concoction of poison. He literally just said it. You don't believe me?
But of course, and I want every New Zealander to come forward, but human behaviour suggests that there will be some people that we have to actually really go out and look for, and some of that may spill into next year. But our commitment is everyone will have the opportunity to get the vaccine by the end of the year. Everyone will, but I can't say that that we're not going to have some hesitant people or some people who just haven't come forward that we don't have to go out and find next year.
We're going to go out and we're going to find you. He basically is saying, I guarantee that we are going to hunt you down and everyone will get the jab. We'll get the COVID jab. Okay. People in New Zealand, boy, I feel very bad for you, and the rest of the people of the world. This is not going to remain isolated to New Zealand. This New Zealand right now is a test for the rest of us. It just is. You don't believe me? Well, let's move on, shall we? Um, let's see. This is my main topic for the day. It's the World Economic Forum. What is the World Economic Forum? The World Economic Forum was started by this man, Klaus Schwab, and I don't like using Wikipedia for a whole lot of things because it's, anyone can go in and type whatever they want, pretty much. And but Klaus Schwab founded the World Economic Forum, which is an event where all of the world leaders, the CEOs, the presidents, the big tech people, the leaders of all the nations, all the countries of the world come together to decide how they're going to control our lives. And a lot of these people are unelected officials. No one elected these people. No one elected them, but they all come together and they're guarded by something like 2 to 3,000 armed security guards, so that no one can get too close, right, to find out what they're really doing in there. But let's take a listen to Klaus Schwab real quick and see what he believes that humanity needs.
History is truly at a turning point. We do not yet know the full extent and the systemic and structural changes which will happen. However, we do know that global energy systems, food systems, and supply chains
Energy systems, food systems, and supply chains.
will be deeply affected. In times of crisis, the role of governments is more important and more relevant than ever. What is also needed is a summit like this one to go beyond crisis management and to look into constructive ways we can build our common future.
So basically, what Klaus Schwab is saying is that we need more government control over energy and food and supply chain to make sure that, well, I actually wrote this down. This was a quote. This is attributed to Winston Churchill during World War II. Churchill, never let a good crisis go to waste. That's exactly what Klaus Schwab is doing. Him and all of his friends. I'm sorry. I'm tired. I didn't sleep that well last night. So I'm giving it my best shot. I'm giving it my all, kind of. I got my coffee here, as a matter of fact. Hold on a second. So that was just kind of a brief little view of what Klaus Schwab thinks the world needs. He thinks the world needs more government control over just about everything because they don't trust you to make the right decision for yourself. They don't. Do we have to go back to the guy from New Zealand about hunting you down and putting poison in your body? You can go out and search for all of this stuff. And again, I will put all of these links down in the description when I'm posting it on YouTube. All of these links will be there, every single one of them, so you can go and you can see it for yourself. So let's keep moving though with the World Economic Forum. So this is something that was termed by them the Great Reset. The pandemic represents a rare but narrow window of opportunity to reflect, reimagine, and reset our world. That was by Professor Klaus Schwab, founder and executive chairman, World Economic Forum. Okay, let's go back to the see. They really like using this kind of verbiage. They like saying we're going to reimagine the world, and I mean reset. What else do you need to hear? What else do you need to hear? They want to reset the way everything is done in this world, and he said it himself in the video that we just played. He said that they want to reset the way that they control energy and food and supply chain. Okay. You're going to live in the pod. You're going to eat the bugs. Let's move on a little bit. Um, let's hold on a second. Where was the one that I went to? Let's just, we'll just move down the list. Okay. Tony Blair calls for digital vaccine tracking at Davos ahead of a new slew of injectables. Former British Prime Minister Tony Blair said that global digital infrastructures are needed to monitor who is vaccinated as he predicted a slew of new vaccines to be introduced to the world. Appearing at the annual World Economic Forum meeting in Davos, Switzerland, Iraq war architect and former Labour Party Prime Minister Tony Blair said that even though the Chinese coronavirus has subsided in the public mind, governments must continue to develop digital tracking systems for vaccines, including for unspecified jabs for the world's most dangerous diseases. So, again, they're using this language where they want to control every single thing that you do. And not only do they want to control it, they want to track you. We've had these world leaders say that they are going to hunt you down, they're going to inject you with something, and they're going to track you. And now, whether I'm not going to sit here and say that there's microchips in the injections or anything like that. I don't know that. I don't have any proof of that or whatever. But it sounds like that they are maybe trying to develop it. He goes on, quote, "You need the data. You need to know who has been vaccinated and who hasn't been. Why? They don't work. Some of the vaccines that come online will be multiple shots." Let me back up a second. The vaccine for COVID doesn't work because it does not prevent transmission or it doesn't stop you from getting it or transmitting it. It just doesn't. We do have vaccines that do work. We have the polio vaccine, things like that, that have been studied for decades but they just rushed this one right out. I think there is a huge impetus for a national digital infrastructure. Digitization in healthcare is one of the great game changers. We should be helping countries develop a national digital infrastructure, which they will need with these new vaccines, he added, revealing that he has been lobbying the G20 nations to adopt this approach. Okay, so what do we have here that we've gone over so far in this short time that this video has been going? We have world leaders. We've got the new New Zealand Prime Minister. We have the former PM of Great Britain, Tony Blair, and we have Klaus Schwab, who runs the World Economic Forum, all saying that everyone needs to be tracked, everyone needs to be controlled. And this guy is a real hoot. Um, he said the human behavior to fight back against oppression, right? I mean, he wants to just squash that. Jeez, I mean, not only do we have this, Tony Blair calls for digital vaccine tracking in Davos ahead of a new slew of injectables. So they want to track that you are injected with whatever it is they want to inject you with, and they'll hunt you down to do it. We also have this, okay, and this one's pretty short. I'll go ahead and read this. This panel called "Ready for Brain Transparency" at the Davos World Economic Forum again made us pretty nervous, and it turns out with good reason. And this is on redacted, a redacted dot. What is it? It's not .com. .inc. In this panel, Duke University researcher and self-described futurist, oh God, Nita Farahani predicts that in the future, even healthy adults will use implanted technology in order to collect data from their brain for insights and convenience. Like, hey, if I can implant this device that plays music and takes calls directly into my brain, I won't lose it. And that's convenient. And also, upload my private thoughts to a server. I'm sure that's fine. If you think that's fine, raise your hand. My God. Brain technology can decode your ATM password so you don't have to remember it. Also, the implants can be the primary way we interact with all of our technology instead of a mouse. If we hand over the data from our brains, researchers will get better at decoding complex thoughts, she says. She calls for something called cognitive ergonomics in the workplace. Like, let's make sure work is comfortable for your brain by letting us in there. I'd be more comfortable if you weren't. Good Lord. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. You really can't. I mean, this is why I wanted to start making these videos to talk about this stuff because you got to see it with your own two eyes. I mean, boy, oh boy, and you know what? I'm, I don't want you to believe me, right? I want you to believe yourself. I want you to go out and do your own homework. I don't want you. If you don't believe me, good. Go look it up for yourself. Go look up the facts and the data and the common sense and decide for yourself. All right. These people don't want you to do that. I would love for you to do that. They don't want you to have free thought. They want to implant things into your brain to control your thoughts, to upload your thoughts into a server so that they can analyze them and say, oh no, this person is guilty of wrong think. Oh no, this person doesn't have the jab. Now we have their ATM password, which brings us neatly along to the Digital Currency Governance Consortium again at the World Economic Forum. Boy, they, good Lord, I I can't say what I want to say. Background: recent developments have heightened global awareness of the opportunities, challenges, and risks posed by new forms of digital currency. So I won't go into this whole thing, but let's see. Phase one complete. Over the course of 2020 and 2021, the forum convened the Digital Currency Governance Consortium, the DCGC, around a series of virtual workshops and roundtables to address key questions and governance gaps in digital currency. So again, they want to govern all of your money. They want to govern your entire life. They want to control you. This crazy lady wants to put a microchip in your brain to upload your thoughts so that they can analyze what you want to do with your money. And then if they don't like what you're going to do with your money, they can just, I don't know, take it. If you just think about it, if you don't have it, if you don't hold it, you don't own it. Your money in banks is just a bunch of ones and zeros, and it can be gone like that. And they want it, and that's what they want. Good Lord. What an evil, evil, evil organization. Why do we allow this? Maybe well, they are guarded by 2 to 3,000 military personnel. I don't know if it's military or if it's just soldiers of fortune, so to speak. But yeah, they're armed to the teeth. Uh, so, well, that's the World Economic Forum. Um, the douchebags over there. And then this is an article from Forbes. See, they're trying to condition you into this new world to live in the pod and eat the bugs and own nothing and like it. I own nothing. Hold on. Welcome to 2030. I own nothing, have no privacy, and life has never been better. Now, this is an editorial written in 2016. So they've been conditioning you, all of us, me included, they conditioning all of us to accept this crap. Welcome to the year 2030. Welcome to my city, or should I say, our city. God. I don't own anything. I don't own a car. I don't own a house. I don't own any appliances or any clothes. It might seem odd to you, but it makes perfect sense for us in this city. Everything you considered a product has now become a service. We have access to transportation, accommodation, food, and all the things we need in our daily lives. One by one, all of these things became free. So it ended up not making sense for us to own much. I want to go back to this. We have access to transportation, accommodation, food, and all the things we need in our daily lives. Okay, those things exist in the world. More people would have more access to those things if the government stopped messing with us, stopped trying to put microchips in our brains and poison in our bodies and control every single thing we do. Maybe if the government just fucked right off, we'd be better off, right? We'd have the freedom to interact with each other. We'd have the freedom to trade. We'd have the freedom to travel wherever we'd like, eat whatever we want, spend time with whoever we want. So, yeah. I mean, again, you can read this whole thing. The link will be down in the description. But they're conditioning all of us to accept this crap. My goodness. Even more. Great Reset. Siemens chairman calls for billion people to stop eating meat again at the World Economic Forum. Are you seeing getting the picture yet about this WEF, the World Economic Forum? You think they're doing any good? I mean, I'll leave that up to you. 1 billion people should stop eating meat in order to save the climate. The chairman of the largest industrial manufacturing company in Europe told a panel at the World Economic Forum. So, again, you think this guy's going to stop eating meat? Huh? You think he's going to stop eating a porterhouse or a filet? I'm not. I love steak. There's probably a really gross joke in there somewhere. Keep it to yourself. Get your mind out of the gutter. I mean, I really don't know what else to say. I mean, you go through all of this, and they're just again conditioning us to. Um, I've said it a million times already. Live in the pod, you know, live in a city where you own nothing. Eat the bugs. Don't eat the meat. Stop eating meat. Um, Which brings us along to the next story. Dutch farmers angry over mandatory measures to drastically reduce nitrogen emissions. All right, I'm not going to go into the climate change thing too much right now. I will make a video on that later, though. Farmers in the Netherlands have been angered by the government's plans for tougher measures that would drastically reduce emissions of nitrogen oxides. You see how these two things go together? Stop eating meat. Let's reduce the number of farmers. The Dutch government unveiled its goals on Friday, mandating reductions of up to 70% in many places and as high as 95% in others in a bid to protect nature, or what the cabinet called an unavoidable transition. we have to emit so much less nitrogen. And unfortunately, the agricultural sector emits a lot, explained Christian van der Waal, Minister for Nature and Nitrogen Policy. Wow. Nitrogen policy. That is quite the title. Just in case people didn't know, CO2, there's a ton of CO2 in the atmosphere. Plants do better off with there's more CO2 in the atmosphere. Plants grow bigger in places where there's more CO2. And what do plants do? They produce more oxygen. They clean the air for us. I mean, I'll write that down so we can go into that later. I love my handy dandy notepad. I like writing things down. So, why is this highly concerning other than the government continuing to want to control your life? Well, here's why. And it's the Washington Post. Yeah, I know. It's the Washington Post. Let's go into this. This is an article about the Netherlands. The rallying cry in the Netherlands started 2 decades ago as concern mounted about its ability to feed its 17 million people, produce twice as much food as using half as many resources. Now, let's go down to and here's this nice little scale. Here's the Netherlands, very, very small country. However, so the Netherlands produces 4 million cows, 13 million pigs, and 104 million chickens annually, and is Europe's biggest meat exporter. But it also provides vegetables to much of Western Europe. The country has nearly 24,000 acres, almost twice the size of Manhattan, of crops growing in greenhouses. So they want to take the farms away. They want to convince you to stop eating meat so they can take the farms away from feeding. They want to stop Europe's biggest meat exporter from feeding people. My God, it's just insane. Dutch companies are the world's top suppliers of seeds for ornamental plants and vegetables. There's an area in the Northwest called Seed Valley where new varieties of vegetables and flowers are in constant development. Um, I'm looking for the part of this article where these gas prices. There is a number where I believe the Netherlands is. I'll go ahead and I'll look it up right now. Uh, World's leading ag. I can spell agriculture. It's early. Rural exporter. And now I know China, United States, China. There's China. Where is? Let's do this. Netherlands agriculture output. There it is. I was there. I'm an idiot. Good Lord. Where did it go? That doesn't sound good. The Dutch pioneered cell cultured meat, vertical farming, seed technology, and robotics in milking and harvesting. Let's see. What is this? I don't want to subscribe to the Washington Post. Get the hell out of here. Global space trade. There. Their centrality in global food exploration is indisputable. 15 out of the top 20 largest agri-food businesses, Nestle, Coca-Cola, Unilever, Cargill, and Kraft Heinz, have major research and development centers in the Netherlands. Okay, I mean, it's just insane. There it is. The country. I was staring right at it. My God, I'm so sorry. The country, which is a bit bigger than Maryland, not only accomplished this feat, but also has become the world's second largest export of agricultural products by value, behind the United States. And they want to take away up to 95% of the farms. What do you think will happen to the world? Bugs. You're going to eat bugs. All right. We've been on this for a while now. I'm going to move on. I'm going to move on from this. Again, links will be in the description below. But folks, we really need to pay attention to this stuff. Okay. This is, I mean, what more do you need to see? You see it with your own two eyes, unless you're a pirate and you've got an eye patch. And then you got to see it with your good eye, but you can still see it. Let's just move on. Oh, yeah. I just wanted to touch on this real quick. Um, this kind of ties us back in, with the New Zealand douchebag. Sudden deaths in Germany sharply increased after COVID jab rollout, according to the insurance data. While there were between 13 and 17 reported cases of sudden or unspecified deaths per day between 2016 and 2020, that number increased dramatically to around 100 per day. Sudden deaths in Germany spiked after the rollout of the COVID vaccine, insurance data has revealed. And it goes into it. I don't want to keep too much of your time. I'm trying to keep these to around like 20 minutes, maybe give or take. And I'm thinking about cutting them down and maybe into like 2 or 3 minute little tidbits, so you can watch the part that you want to watch, or you not watch it at all. Um, the data set was released following a Freedom of Information request by the German parliamentary party Alternative für Deutschland and was presented at a press conference by the data activist Tom Lawson. And then it goes into the chart down here. Can I click on it? No, but let's see here. You can see the years 2016, 17, 18, 19, 20. Experimental COVID vaccines, and they are experimental. They're experimental. That's all they are. They're experimental toxins. And then you can see it skyrocket. Okay. So I just wanted to touch on that. And moving on, this ties in with this as well. The MHRA has finally started publishing detailed IDAPs for the, I don't know what any of these acronyms mean, JAGs in the UK. Let's see. 1,334 fatal events, 246,866 adverse reports, 190,997 serious reaction reports. Wow. Nothing to see here. Jeez. And it goes down, it goes on, it goes on, it goes on. I mean, it's just remarkable. COVID-19 vaccine AstraZeneca. Total number of reports of suspected adverse responses. I'm guessing that means where I'm probably missing it. That was the 246,000 number. Total number of suspected adverse reactions 874,912. Total number of reports of suspected ADRs, which were serious, 190,997. Total number of suspected ADRs with fatal. So those are the numbers that I just read. So again, um, go. This is a wrestler over at Twitter, so go check him out. Um, don't you wonder why they aren't talking about these things on the news? Why isn't CNN talking about this? Why isn't ABC and MSNBC talking about this? Where's Fauci? What's he talking about? What's he doing? What's he denying? Fauci's probably busy killing puppies. He kills puppies. Well, I don't know if he does anymore, but he did. Look it up. It's true. All right. That's enough of this crap. Okay. Let's move on. We got the news down. What have we got next? No. I gotta keep this. Holy moly. We're gonna have to my video recorder is gonna cut me off here. So I will create another video right after this for the rest of the information. This took up a lot more time than I anticipated, but this is information that I think you really need to know. Um, Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Make sure you click like and subscribe and the notification bell if you like what you saw here. If you don't like it, that's fine too. I appreciate you watching. I'm very grateful that you would give me any of your time to listen to me talk about all of this crazy shit that's going on in the world. And it is happening. And the question that we should be asking is, why aren't we hearing about it? That's the question we should be asking. Who are the people who are hiding it? Let's find those people. Okay. Again, I will go ahead and I'll stop this video here, and I'll get the sports, the weather, and the entertainment and the fun stuff right after this in another video. So stick around for episode 2 of this. And I'm so tired. I don't even know what to say right now. Y'all take care. Thank you so much for showing up. Be well. See ya.